Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. If this is your first time here, welcome. And if you are a returning subscriber, thank you so much for your continued support. I appreciate it. Today I'm going to be doing another challenge that was presented by Huck once again. This time he's doing top 25 male actors. So I'm going to go ahead and get into my top 25 male actors. This was tough. I don't think I completely was accurate with my top 25 male actors. This is hard. This is tough because there's so many good actors out there, and I definitely skipped on a few. Here's the challenge for me. A lot of my movies are boxed up, probably over half of them. I'm hoping to move early next year, and I'm out of space right now, so all of my movies are boxed up. I brought them upstairs, put them in the closet, and I'm not touching them. So unfortunately for me, a lot of my stuff is boxed up. It makes it very challenging to do any kind of challenges for myself. That's why I haven't been able to do as many videos like collections, movie room tour, because I don't have that opportunity at the moment, but eventually I will. So let me go ahead and get into it and show off what I do have and the actors that I have come up with today. So let's start with number one. In no particular order here. It's just favorite actors and roughly trying to be as accurate as possible. We've got The Faculty up first. Love this movie. Absolutely a favorite of mine. It is my second favorite horror film of all time, I would say. Right behind Scream. Love The Faculty. I love 90s, 80s, and 90s. Anything. I'm obsessed with it. And just the cast is hot. Everything about this movie is stellar. You got Jordana Brewster. I absolutely love her. I think she's gorgeous. You got Josh Hartnett, Elijah Wood, Usher. I think Claire Duvall. You got a ton of people in this movie. So really good cast. This would be just one of 25 for me, Josh Hartnett. I'm a big fan of Josh Hartnett. I was especially in the late 90s, early 2000s. Next up, I'd say Paul Walker. I was a huge fan of him. Still depressing that he passed away, especially the way he did. But yeah, I got to get that sticker off of there. But big fan of Joyride. I think this is a cult classic in my opinion. I think it's very underappreciated. Not enough people talk about this, and I think it's a very good film. So that would be Joyride, Paul Walker. Next up, my number one favorite actor of all time, we've got Kevin Costner. I love this movie. I know I didn't realize the amount of hate this movie got, but I'm a big fan of For Love of the Game. Very nostalgic to me. I'm a big baseball fan. Huge Kevin Costner fan. You got Vin Scully doing the broadcasting in this movie. Kelly Preston, huge fan of her, especially in the 80s. So great cast. Love this movie. Absolutely a huge fan of it. I think, is it J.K. Simmons? Is that his name? Or Val? I believe. I can't find it at the moment. But yeah, you got John C. Reilly in this as well. So it is a stellar cast. Very good one. I like that. It's underrated. It's hated for some reason, and I don't agree with that. Next up, we've got Nicolas Cage. I'm a big fan of Nicolas Cage. I just watched The Rock for the first time, and I was like, yeah, you definitely got those Nicolas Cage moments in that one, too, where he kind of acts. This is probably one of those movies where he's not a complete, like, lunatic in his movies or acts crazy or anything like that. I like this. You got John Cusack in this as well, so I'm a fan. I'm a big fan of Con Air. I feel like everybody loves Con Air. Who isn't, right? It's a good movie. Next up, we have got Clint Eastwood. You'll be seeing him again, but yeah, definitely a big fan of Clint Eastwood. The Mule, it's a good one. I'm not like the largest fan of The Mule, but I really like this movie. I think it's a very good film. And I really like the quote at the end of the movie when he says, I could buy anything, I just couldn't buy time. So I thought that was an incredible quote because we can't buy time. That's not something we get back. So I love that quote. I'm a big fan of this movie. I think it was really good. I was a big fan of it. So 4K and with the slipcover. And then WB stopped doing those slipcovers for some reason. I don't know why on the 4Ks. Next up, a big fan of this one. We have got, why am I drawing a blank right here? But yeah, what is this? Why did I just draw a blank? I'm sorry, Andrew Garfield here. So Yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. I'm an idiot. Drew a blank. Like Dell said, when the camera gets rolling, sometimes you just forget the names. But yeah, Hacksaw Ridge. Mel Gibson directed this. You'll probably see him again. But yeah, big fan of this movie. I was a fan of him in the Spider-Man movies. He was probably my favorite Spider-Man. I don't care if people hated The Amazing Spider-Man. I like Andrew Garfield a lot. Big fan of him. So Hacksaw Ridge. And for some reason, I just brain freeze there. Next up, we've got Justin Long. I like Justin Long. I think he's really funny. I loved Going the Distance. I thought this was a really fun movie. You got a great cast in this as well. Charlie Day. It's just Drew Barrymore. Yeah, love this movie. I had a lot of fun with it. I had to search for the slipcover. But yeah, this is Justin Long. I was going to go with another one, but it's controversial because of the director. I wanted to pick Jeepers Creepers, but I didn't want to get into that because I feel like people get mad when you pull something like that. But yeah, there's Going the Distance, Justin Long. Next up, Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson. I'm going to go with Baywatch for this one. There's a lot of options. I have a lot of his films, but I like Baywatch. I like him and Zac Efron. I thought they were pretty good in this. You've got Alexandria Daddario in this as well. I enjoyed Baywatch. I laughed a lot at it. I thought it was pretty funny. I enjoyed it. Next up, Ben Affleck. I already pulled the town that I didn't know because, unfortunately, we didn't know when we did the A through Z challenge. I did this before I knew that he was going to, Huck was going to roll out some other challenges. So I had already pulled the town. Otherwise, I definitely would have pulled that one. But The Way Back is still one of my favorites. Love this movie. He's incredible in it. Maybe his best performance, especially in the year 2020. I think he could have been nominated for Best Actor because it was during the pandemic quarantine, so there wasn't a whole lot of movies. But yeah, big fan of The Way Back. Huge fan of Ben Affleck. One of my favorites, to be honest. We've got Jason Bateman, Game Night. This movie is a lot of fun. It's really funny. It's probably one of the rare comedies that have come out in the last 5 to 10 years or so. I enjoy it. It's pretty original. It's a unique film. It's a lot of fun. And I'm a big fan of Jason Bateman. I think he's probably one of the funniest actors out there, in my opinion. Next up, Tom Cruise, Top Gun. Loved the sequel to this, Top Gun Maverick, but I also really enjoyed this one as well. It could go with a lot of Tom Cruise films. But I love Top Gun Maverick. So good. So good. Probably one of the best films in the last 10 years or so. But yeah, that's Top Gun, the original one. Next up, Ryan Gosling in Crazy Stupid Love. This is a very fun movie. You got Steve Carell, Emma Stone, Julianne Moore. This is a great film. It is funny. It is romantic. It is unique and very well done. Marissa Tomei is also in this. And Kevin Bacon. This is a fun movie. It is a lot of fun. It's got a great cast as well. Crazy Stupid Love. I feel like it's a lot of love by people. Next up, Stuck in Love, which is Logan Lerman I'm going to go with. So right here, you've got Lily Collins, Liano Liberato, however you pronounce her name. Love this movie, Jennifer Connelly. This movie, nobody talks about it. I don't know how many people out there have seen it or even heard of it or know about it, but I love Stuck in Love, especially if you're a writer. I think Stephen King has a cameo in this movie, but I enjoy the hell out of this movie. I'm a sucker for romance in movies. This is a very romantic film about writers and a family, and I love Lily Collins and Logan Lerman in this movie. I absolutely love their chemistry. I love Lily Collins, though. Big fan of her. I think she's gorgeous as well, so. And I could have gone with The Perks of Being a Wallflower for Logan Lerman. Oh, well. This one would be Tom Hanks, Castaway. I love this film. And I have another one. This, Robert Zemeckis will get pulled later, but love Castaway. I think that the dynamic between Zemeckis and Tom Hanks is just incredible in Castaway. It's so well done, especially for a movie that, takes place in one place with one actor. It's so good. It's probably one of his best performances ever. I think he was nominated for an Oscar. I don't know. I know he didn't win any Oscar for this, but he should have. Tom Hanks is one of the best directors, one of the best actors ever, in my opinion. Maybe the very best. Love Tom Hanks. Next up, we've got Vince Vaughn. This director will pop up again, but I love Dragged Across Concrete. This is a very good film. It's super long. It's like 2.5 hours, and it drags. But oh my God, the dialogue is perfect. It is so well directed, so well written. I love this movie. For some reason, S. Craig Zahler, which is the director and writer of this film, does not bore me, and he should, because his films are like, they drag. They're very slow, a ton of dialogue. They slightly remind me of Quentin Tarantino, but when you're a good writer and your films are slow like that, if you have good dialogue, they're not boring. And this movie is, and he's so violent. S. Craig Zahler's so violent, and I like that. Arnold Schwarzenegger, Last Stand. I'm a fan of this movie. It's a lot of fun. It's a lot of action. It's just a lot of Arnold. It's fun. It's a blast from start to finish, honestly. Big fan of it. You got Johnny Knoxville in that one as well. Keanu Reeves, John Wick. Big fan of Keanu Reeves, especially in the John Wick franchise. One of my favorite action franchises out there. I had actually waited a while to see John Wick, so it took me a while to get to this one, but I love John Wick. I love John Wick Chapter 2. I don't think Parabellum is nearly as good as the first or second, but it's still fun. Sylvester Stallone, of course I gotta have Sly. He's one of my favorites. We got First Blood, the very original one that spawned this franchise. This is such a good film. Looks great in 4K. Sylvester Stallone gives a great performance, especially at the very end of this film. If you've seen it, you know what I'm talking about. But yeah, First Blood is a great movie. Excellent movie. Love that one. JeanClaude Van Damme. Yeah, there's so many options, but I don't have a ton of them out. So I had to go with Lionheart because this is actually on the shelf. So it's not boxed up and put away. So yeah, I wanted to grab a JeanClaude Van Damme film, and I didn't know if I would have any on the shelf. So I'm glad I did. I do like this one. I think Lionheart is probably one of his better films. There's a lot of emotion and heart in this one. If you haven't seen it, I would recommend checking this one out. It's good. He doesn't do the splits or show his ass in this one, but it's still a good film. All right, next up, Ryan Reynolds. We've got Buried, the steelbook here, and that's the back of it. I am a big fan of this movie. I've only seen it once. I will avoid spoilers, but when I saw this, I was like 20 years old, living on my own in my apartment at the time, and I remember putting this on, and the last like 15 minutes, I stood up out of my seat, and I was like hunched over, and I was just on the edge of my seat, but standing. I couldn't sit. This movie had me so gripped, and oh my God, it's just, the ending is incredible. It's actually probably my favorite ending in any movie ever made. I think the last 10 minutes of this movie are completely just perfection. A movie that could make me feel this as the credits roll. Just, I'll never forget this film, and I can't wait to rewatch it. Despite knowing what's going to happen, it still needs a rewatch, and I've only seen it once. But it's so engraved in my brain. I'll never forget the ending of Buried. Aaron Taylor Johnson, Kick-Ass Steelbook. There's the back of it. I absolutely love Aaron Taylor Johnson. I loved him in Kick-Ass 2 as well, and I love him in a lot of other things. Nocturnal Animals is great as well. I think he was nominated for something, maybe an Emmy or something like that for that one, but Aaron Taylor Johnson's great. He has a couple, actually, Million Little Pieces is one of my favorites of his. It's about addiction, but big Aaron Taylor Johnson fan. I think he's great. Absolutely great. Al Pacino is Scarface, of course. This is a classic, a remake to the 1932 Scarface, which is also a good one, but different. Scarface is excellent. Absolutely excellent. Al Pacino is excellent. He's absolutely one of my favorites. Can't say much about that. Brian De Palma. Will Smith. We've got Bad Boys Steelbook as well here. This is a Zavi exclusive, and it is embossed here. And this is also embossed, or debossed. I love Will Smith. It's unfortunate, that whole slap thing at the Oscars. I also love Martin Lawrence. He almost made the top 25. But yeah, Will Smith, he's had a lot of movies that I'm a big fan of. I have yet to see his one, once again, drawing a blank here, the tennis one that he won the Oscar for. I didn't see that yet. But this is a really good movie. I love Bad Boys. It's easily my favorite Michael Bay film. Just a fun movie. And I just watched The Rock, so check that out as well. I'm trying to get around to all Michael Bay films. I've probably seen about 90% of them. But yeah, big fan of Bad Boys. It's easily my first introduction into... Actually, Armageddon might be my first introduction to Michael Bay. I can't remember. But yeah, big fan of Bad Boys. I saw Armageddon in theaters. I did not see Bad Boys in theaters. So Armageddon was probably my first introduction as a kid. Two left. We have got Denzel Washington. Absolutely love Denzel. Everybody loves Denzel Washington. You could go with a plethora of options. I don't have Training Day out. It's boxed up probably as well. But yeah, Equalizer's still a good one. Absolutely love this flick. I love Chloe Grace Moretz. She's in this as well. And this is a really good movie. Super unique action flick, sort of a drama. Equalizer Part 2 is not nearly as good, but this is definitely superior. But that is not a bad film at all either. The sequel's still good, and I love Denzel Washington. So can't go wrong with Equalizer. A beautiful steelbook as well. And last, but certainly not least, we have got Robert De Niro in Taxi Driver. I love Robert De Niro. Top 3 actors, I'd say. So many great films to choose from, but I have to go with Taxi Driver for him. Love this movie. It's such a great movie. It is so much better than Joker. I was not the biggest fan of Joker. I didn't like the comparisons. I thought it was an insult to Taxi Driver personally, because this film is 1,000 times better than Joker. I don't think Joker was deserving of all the recognition that it got, and the awards and stuff like that. But yeah, I love Taxi Driver. Absolutely adore this film. It is so good. I cannot wait to rewatch it. I need to get that Columbia Volume 2, I believe it is, because I need to check this out in 4K. That's the only way to watch it in 4K. But yeah, Taxi Driver. This is that digibook here as well, so kind of folds open like that, and then like that, and also I think it ends up, and there's a book in there or something like that. Yeah, so you got the book, and yeah, it's like a digipack. But yeah, this is a good one. This is a very good film. I think is that Julianne Moore. That's not Julianne Moore. Jodie Foster, right? I get the two mixed up sometimes. But yeah, Taxi Driver is an excellent film. Beautiful digipack, digibook. And that is all 25. That is every single one. That is my 25 actors. Next up, I believe he's probably going to go through the 25 actresses, so I better get my 25 actresses started. I'm really looking forward to that one because I have a lot of actresses that I'm obsessed with. And then directors is going to be very challenging for me because of how many movies I have boxed up and how many I've already gone through during these challenges. But I need to definitely be careful in my planning for that director one. But yeah, definitely fun doing this. Thank you so much, Huck, for doing this challenge and keeping them going. It is a lot of fun. And I'm looking forward to jumping onto the actresses one after you post that. I'll start to get my actresses laid aside and start looking for some movies to pull out. But yeah, very fun challenge. I'm looking forward to everybody else's post about it. I'm sure there will be plenty. The A through Z challenge was a bunch of fun. I've been watching everybody's video. There's so many people that have done it. If you like the video, be sure to hit that like button. Like I said, if this is your first time here and you are not subscribed yet, be sure to hit that subscribe button and also smash the bell notification for all future videos so you don't miss out on my videos. Hopefully you enjoy them, and I'm looking forward to the next one. Have a good day and have a good night. I'll see you next time.